Cool. Yeah, we expected maybe 5 people. Thanks for coming out, guys. Welcome to the Pinny Arcade Pin Collecting and Community Panel. I'm Sennohki. I'm moderating for us today. I have fishfishmonkeyhat, Duckie,
Hey.
Agentcooper,
Thank you.
George Monkey, and Ayefkay down the end.
Hello.
We're going to give you a brief rundown of the history of Pinny Arcade, how you can get pins, how you can get more pins, what to do with them once you've got them, and how you can join the community and maybe even give away some cool stuff at the end. So I'm going to hand over to Agentcooper. He's going to give us a bit of a rundown on what is Pinny Arcade and how did it start.
Thanks, Sennohki. Yeah, look, for those completely new to the hobby, Pinny Arcade is Pinny Arcade's pin trading and collecting program, which you can sort of see over most of the people here. Now, like all great things in this world, it started with a trip to Disneyland, where Gabe, or Micro Hurlick, who's probably currently throwing up, took a keen interest in Disney's pin trading program and started to think of interesting ways to incorporate pin trading and collecting into the overall PAX experience. And he took the idea to Robert Koo, who's also, please grab this pin off me if you want, who saw his favourite things, dollar signs. And the first pin, I love that. The first pin ever released was the original merch pin, which was distributed as a purchase reward during the 2012 holiday season. Now, the original plan had been to launch Pinny Arcade at Prime 2012 as its PA's home PAX, but for reasons which Duckie can't currently remember, thank you, Duckie, that didn't end up happening until East the following year. Now, in addition to the 2012 run of core pins, East also saw the first sale of PAX-specific pins, which the Aussie ones are great this year, with 5 pins to complement the existing 8-pin designs. And since then, the number of pins at each PAX have been increasing, with the most recent PAX Prime having 38 in total. I mean, wow, we got it good down here. Now, there are a few ways to start your collection, but you would mainly begin through buying or trading. Now, buying pins is obviously the most straightforward way to start building up your collection base. And pins can be purchased online through both primary and secondary sellers or at any of the PAX shows. Now, primary sources for buying pins include buying directly from the Pinny Arcade store or any other third-party companies who have chosen to sell their pins online. Now, Pinny Arcade's online store is going to be one of the most reliable sources of pins, as they stock a variety of sets and individual pins, mainly related to the Pinny Arcade properties, but they often have some third-party pins for sale as well, like people might have some left and are giving back to them to sell, so like the Triple Town Bear, I think, is on there at the moment. Yep. So, yeah. Pinny Arcade's core set, now the 2.0, has been designed especially for those just getting into the hobby, and there's a set of 4 pins which come with a very stylish, which I don't have on me, lanyard.
I got that one.
To wear proudly when walking around a PAX. It's a little bit shorter than the old one, unfortunately, as you can tell if you've got multiples. Now, every so often, a wild, limited edition penny will appear, usually with a good amount of warning beforehand. So if you want to try and catch them all, so to speak, I'm not into Pokemon, make sure you clear your schedule and have your credit cards ready to go on pin drop day. Now, when it comes to older pin designs that are no longer stocked, there are always secondary options which can come in handy when your Brain-Squirrels bite hard and you're just looking for that one specific pin to fill a hole in your collection. Now, though, we always do recommend hitting up the PinnyPal site or looking at the Pinny Arcade forums first to sort of check out options and maybe you might be able to do some trading, which we'll talk about later. Now, there are both pros and cons to purchasing pins from secondary sellers like eBay, and while they're a good place to look out for older or out-of-print runs, there are a lot of sellers listing pins at sometimes unrealistically inflated prices, and these sites are definitely not recommended as a tool for establishing pin values during trades. Although you may also want to factor in the fact that the seller will have to pay some fees when they're selling the pin, so it might be a bit higher for that reason as well.
So, Coop, how would you establish the value of a pin?
I guess I would personally like talking to people on, say, maybe Penny Pals, or looking at the forums of people, the general sort of vibe. That's sort of the way I'd go about it, I think.
There's also Pin Mash.
Yeah,
Pin
which
Mash,
is good
yeah.
for like a subjective, like because it's all about which pin do you like more personally. It's not about the value, and so it shows you more the personal value within the community rather than what its cost value is.
Yep.
An unfortunate downside for us Aussies buying pins online is our always amazing exchange rate. It can get a little costly sometimes. There are a few tips to mitigate this. These include buying in bulk or maybe combining orders with some fellow pin pals in the community that you know and trust. And of course, there's always collecting and buying pins at PAX itself, like we are this weekend. You can find pins in the designated merch booths or at specific vendor locations where you can obtain pins by purchase or by playing a demo and so forth. And maybe jumping through some other hoops like following the guy on Twitter or run to where they're at or get a picture. So now a week or two before every PAX, there's about a week this year I think, Pinny Arcade reveal all these pins that will be available at this PAX or at a PAX. And don't worry if you missed out or don't know about that, because we're going to go over the list and tell you where to go and how to get each pin, because we're cool like that. So.
Cool. So let's say we've already got a few pins, but somebody else has cooler pins than I do. What do I do? Duckie?
So I guess, you start with buying, but trading's really what the heart of the hobby and the community is all about. So it's just meant to be a really easy and enjoyable process for everyone, and it's our #1 recommended way of collecting pins and finishing your collection. I think we can all agree that there's really nothing more satisfying than helping someone fill a hole in their collection that they really, really wanted. Like when you've got a pin and it's just sort of you like it, but it's just a spare, you don't care, and it just makes their day, and the look on their face is just awesome. It's kind of awesome. And even the other way around, it's awesome when someone has a pin that you want and they're happy to trade with you. So I suppose to keep things awesome and to keep everyone happy, we've got a little bit of housekeeping, just ways to keep the community running nicely. And so our guidelines would be always ask first, don't just instantly run in and be I want that pin. Just to be hey, are you trading? We'd love to trade with you if you're interested. Sometimes people aren't going to want to, and sometimes they do.
It's a personal space thing too.
Yeah, and it's a personal space thing. There's nothing more scary than when a stranger runs at your chest. So, always ask first before touching and things. And
bad memories.
It's
good rule to live by.
It's a good rule to live by, generally speaking. Because one of the things to remember, train of thought. I'm going to do this a few times because my brain runs away. So some people, they display differently. Sometimes their lanyards are for trade, all for trade that you can see. Some people will wear a lanyard and it's their display and they keep their trade pins somewhere else. And some people do a mix of having a bag of pins and then also trade, but one lanyard's display or one lanyard's trade. So it's always different. So it's just easier if you ask what the deal is. Be polite, be awesome. There's no need to sort of be pushy or rude. And if someone doesn't want to trade, it's not a big deal. There's so many people out there, you're always going to find someone else who's going to trade. Just say thanks, walk away. Being reasonable is probably a big one. It doesn't happen very often, but occasionally you'll see someone who's demanding crazy trades, and it's just if you're not happy with the trade, if you feel you need to demand something huge for the pin they want, then it's probably not a good trade for you guys, and look for it somewhere else. And finally, enjoy yourself, because there's no point going through that.
It turns out it's quite fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is quite
smiles
fun.
all around.
And if you're not having fun, what's the point?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this year we've got the lovely set of pins there, and Fish is going to give you a bit of an idea of what they are and how you can get them.
Yes. Is there anyone here that doesn't have the PAX AUS show set from this year? That doesn't have it? It's probably the one people are usually going to start with, so this is the main one you can get. It's the easiest one to get for $35 from either of the merch booths. And then we've got the limited edition poly pin.
So shiny.
So shiny. It's only available from the merch light when you're looking for that one. And they have limited numbers, and started with 1,500 total. Friday they had 600. Yes, today 500, and tomorrow they're already sold out. But tomorrow they'll have 400 of those. So you want to get there nice and early if you want to grab one of them, because they're going to be the last of those left.
It suggests like 8 or something before 8.
Yeah, nice and early. And we had the screen cheat logo pin. Yeah, there we go. Screen cheat logo pin from the Samurai
Great
Punk.
job on these.
It's available at their booth in PAX Rising. $20 for that one. You get the discount code.
I think that's my favourite pin this year.
Yeah, a lot of us like the screen cheat one. The Death Squared red and blue pins from SMG Studio. They're available at their booth in PAX Rising. They're $20 each per pin, or you can get both of them for $35. So you save yourself 5, and you'll get a code for their previous game, Over the Top Tower Defense. You've got the Praise Helix pin from Twitch. Good luck with this one.
Yeah,
That's good.
good luck.
Hold on to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You either had to be in the Twitch Town Hall panel yesterday, so that's out. First for 50 people to play at their gaming area each morning.
Line up early tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real early if you want to get that one. Oh, you can follow them on.
I think a couple of the traders have found if you hit up Twitch first, there's usually still the polygon pins, so you can go to Twitch and still get an LE at the moment.
Right.
So, pro tip.
Yep, there's a lot of work for that one. You'll have to see us after the show if you want some more details. We had Ben. How do you pronounce this again? Medius the Cannibal.
Medius.
Call him creepy cannibal guy. That's cool.
Creepy Cannibal Guy.
Works.
Available at the Tin Man booth in PAX Rising. $20 and you'll get the pin, or includes a copy of the game. And they also have last year's pin, so you can get that for a discount for $35 for both. The Nissa pin, that's a magic, quick run over how you get the Nissa pin, Coop.
Yeah, so Magic,
Real quick.
real quick, they'll give you a thing, you can go do 3 things out of this side, and those things include play an iPad game, get a stamp, take a photo booth, get a stamp, play the game, stamp, or buy a $20 thing. So anyway, a combination of those 3 things, take to a lady who hopefully still has some pins, and if they don't, you come back the next day and get one of those.
Did we mention High Vis? Yeah, so I think it's in the afternoon, around lunchtime every day. There's going to be a guy out on the show floor in a high-vis orange vest covered in the Nissa pins. And the deal with that is if you tell him a story about Magic, for example, like I told him them about the first time I played Magic in 2013 PAX, and if they like your story, they'll trade you for a Nissa pin. So it's like you get one, but it's not as much rigmarole. Can't pronounce.
Rigmarole.
Yeah, as going through the booth.
Cool. Trade.
I think it's give.
Yeah, he's trading the
90%
story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you want
like
a
they're
story,
trading. Yeah.
Yes, the
They
story
used
for
the
a
word
pin.
trade when they were talking to me, and so I got confused.
And then we got
Staff
the
pins?
staff pins. We've got the Gabby and Taiki, I believe, is 2. You get them from, only Jerry this year, since Mike's not here, of course.
Jerry and everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All the
actually
other-
got mine from Eric, so
Yeah.
so probably a few around. You just see them, and they'll happy to trade with you. You just they'll take any pin, so you don't have to, as long as it's for one of their staff ones.
And they'll be at the pin trading event half an hour after this panel.
Yep, so that's easy to get them. Now, pin trading isn't all hearts and hot dog fairies and flopping the pig. Some pins are rarer and more valuable than others, and are a lot harder to get. We've picture a typical limited edition pin release here. They occasionally sell limited edition pins online on the PA store. They usually run between 1,000 and 2,000 pins per total, and they usually sell out pretty quickly and become especially wanted in the trading community because they're never going to be produced again, being limited. The next level up from limited edition is one you can't actually buy. They occasionally put up for sale something called double secret blind boxes, and DSBs for short. They're basically small boxes that contain 2 random pins that they've had traded to them, and basically you're just going into the draw to get 2 random pins for that's $15 for those.
15
Yeah.
US.
Yeah, 15 US, so the transfer about 300 for us. They sell it really quick when they're on sale. And last time they went on sale, someone opened a DSB and they found a pin in there that no one knew about and had never been announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never ever been mentioned.
Yeah.
Blind DSB. They're exclusive.
Let's be fair. Shit blew up.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Things
sorry,
went a
take-
bit crazy for a little while.
If you're interested in pins you don't know about that are super rare. It's limited to 500, only in random double secret boxes, and that's only when they're on sale. You have a roughly 1 in 20 chance to find them. And we actually have one that hasn't been opened yet that a kind, generous Lucky Charm here has volunteered to open live so we can experience, everyone here can experience. Everyone give her a round of applause.
Did we,
It's sealed.
Did we mention that they're going to go live again on Black Friday? Or?
not yet.
Not yet.
So inside are 2 bags, I can't cheat. So the first pin,
I'm curious. Magic. Oh, Second Son.
Second Son.
Nice.
second son,
There's a
not
couple
too
here.
shabby.
Easy to trade.
2013 Prime.
And second pin. Oh, look out.
Which,
You're going to get a lot of
you're going to get a lot of
They're
lookouts,
print.
but
They're
ironically
print,
they're
yeah.
starting to become
becoming
desirable
rarer.
now because
Yeah.
people who had them traded them all away thinking they could buy more, and now they're not available.
Thank you, Lucky Charm.
Yeah, yeah.
I made that mistake and didn't buy a lookout set and had to trade for a whole set on Friday. I'm ashamed.
Just quickly, there's one pin rarer than a random one that you have a random chance of getting. It's the DLC pin here. It went up on their Kickstarter back before pins were particularly popular, so not many people were into them. It was at the 150 tier, and there was only 300 of these produced total. So 300 people will only, actually there's a couple have been destroyed, so the max people that are in the Penny Arcade that can ever have a complete collection is only ever going to be probably $2.99 at this point.
And I think in the community we know maybe 50 where they are,
Yeah,
thereabouts.
yeah.
Yeah,
So there's still a lot in the wild.
yeah, so to get this pin you have to pay a lot on eBay basically, over $1,000 the last couple of gone for I think.
Yep.
Or
And
do
the
some
first
very
one,
interesting trading.
Very interesting trading.
$2,500.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
first one on sale.
US.
But it crashed quickly. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So we did have a really cool video to show you, but we're running a little bit short.
See me after
so
the show.
see him after the show. Hit him up on the YouTubes.
Should we quickly mention
Armageddon? Sure, go for it.
Just since we're in blind box area, so the blind boxes are going to go back on sale on Black Friday. But what was released just before PAX AUS was Pinny Arcade's first sort of dedicated blind box set. So it's an edition of 12 pins, and you buy a box and you don't know what 2 pins out of the set are going to be in it, and they have varying rarities. So we've only added this section in today, so I don't have pictures for you, unfortunately.
go to the Penny
Actually, if you
Arcade
tab
store.
back to
There's a couple on
We do have a couple there.
so that's a couple of the pin designs from the series, and they have varying rarities. So a few of them are sort of like you'll get 1 in 8, and then you've got 1 in 25, 1 in 30, and then there's a few rarer ones that are 1 in 50. Yeah.
And we still don't know the rarity on the...
Yeah, and we still don't know the rarity on a couple of them because they're marked as question mark / question mark question mark. So
Cool. So now you've got a bit of an idea on what pins there are. Pin collecting is really very social. We all knew each other well before we'd even seen our faces. It's a great way to express your interests. Pinny Arcade's no exception as well. So Ayefkay is going to give us a bit of a rundown on how it is as a hobby.
Alright, so as Sennohki said, pin collecting and trading is inherently a very social hobby. It's a fun addition to the overall PAX experience, and it gives you a reason to start a conversation with people, meet new people, attendees around PAX, and also engage with the staff and enforcers. Most people who get into Pinny Arcade normally have an interest in gaming, but they also they're into collecting and trading. They enjoy displaying their interests, like so, and they like engaging with the community that have similar interests than theirs. And of course, they like anything Penny Arcade related. If any of these points speak out to you, then Penny Arcade might be for you. The first step is to decide what level of collector you might be. The community has come up with 3 of these broad terms to describe particular levels of collectors, and it's basically up to you to decide what level best suits you. So the first step is, first level would be the casual collector. These people join to have fun with the community aspect, talk to like-minded people, and make friends.
Can we get a show of hands? Who thinks they're a casual collector? Nice, a few.
Yeah,
Not for
I'm a casual
long.
too.
So they like to have fun with, they like to have small collections with only, particular pins that they personally like. And they're not fussed with having large sets. The next level up is the PINthusiast level. These people have a more defined collection, but without the need to have a full 100% set.
Yep. So who's a PINthusiast? I want to be hardcore. I can't afford to be hardcore.
I can't either. Yeah.
Hardcore rate is dwindling really quickly.
Yeah.
Every month.
There's a few of us holding on.
So the PINthusiasts set objectives for themselves to have certain pins. This might be like every pin from PAX AUS or the camper pins. They enjoy a challenge, but as I said, they're okay with missing a few pins from their total collection. And finally, we have the hardcore collector. These guys are in it to win it. They need, want, or even crave 100% set of every pin that there is. The Brain-Squirrels at this point have completely taken over.
Yep. These are real crazy people. How many hardcore have we got in here? Yeah.
You're all monsters.
They're not that bad.
I sleep in a tent.
Let's not get into the variant hardcores right now.
So, how else can you get pins, Duckie?
So some of the advanced techniques to get the pins you want, and also for a chance to sort of engage the community and get to know more members, you can do things like join a pin group, sign up and trade on pinnypals.com, the website, which was created by a wonderful George Monkey here. We love him for it.
So, what do you mean by a pin group?
So sorry.
Look at the audience.
Yes, not it here. So a pin group is a group of up to 4 people usually, ideally, who have a member that attends each PAX. So you've got a South member, East, Prime, and Oz. And each member collects 4 sets of pins from the PAX they go to then send out to their other pin pals. So everyone gets one, which is great for us because it's expensive to fly to the US 4 times a year. It helps make sure that you get pins from every Prime. Like some people are more hardcore. My group is like get every pin.
That's okay for us. I feel sorry for your Prime guy.
Well, see the beauty of the American groups, like usually there's 2 of our group at each event, so they're like whoever's the spare helps the other one out. It gets harder at Oz when it's like, oh, there was this many Prime pins, and I think what was it, 38 Prime pins this year, and I have to find an equivalent amount of Oz pins to send back. That's a lot of pins. So it does get hard.
Some of them will also let you just pay for the,
Yeah.
the purchase pins
Some
as
groups
well.
do, yeah, some groups do have an arrangement where it's like you just work out a cost difference and just like pay up at the end. Yeah. Where did I get up to?
Penny Pals.
Penny Pals. Yes, Penny Pals. We love Penny Pals. Yeah, so you create an account, you get trading. It's awesome. You have a lanyard and it's just sort of, it gives you access to what everyone has and like you can find the pins that you want. It's just really great. I don't know.
For me, I like the fact that I can keep track of what I've got. Because otherwise I wouldn't.
And so the last thing that we have, the way to get pins, is on the forums you'll find people usually volunteer to be a proxy collector. And what that means is they'll buy pins on behalf of sort of ungroup collectors, so people who don't have pin pals to go to that PAX and like do a pin exchange, and they'll buy all of the purchasable pins. So
Lucky Charms doing it for us.
Yeah.
How many show sets did you ask for yesterday?
45.
And what did they say?
They looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah. Please take my money.
To be honest, we are. So.
yeah.
I think the Death Squared guys had a similar reaction.
He wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
He's still talking about it. I went to it and he said, there was that one person, 17.
Yeah.
Where are we up to? Oh yeah, okay, so now that you've got like a nice little shiny Smaug hoard, what do you do with it? You know, pins, one of the great things about pins is that they are a very small footprint collecting hobby. So they're easy to store away if you need to.
I hear Fish keeps his in a box.
Yeah.
That's in my special edition box.
One of a kind.
So what have we got? Okay, so yeah, displaying events. So you get portable versions around PAX, so sort of starting, you got early on people using shirts. Diffusion had his bag of holding, which has evolved into custom-made bags, which Mae West from the forums has organised, which each have our trading handles on it. So keep an eye out for our pin trading bags, and you'll know that they're available. Demonsini made a really cool, it was like a Scouts lanyard with a little PVC panel to make sure that none of the pins fall off. Probably one of the important things to mention is that sometimes rubber backs do fall off. And if so
You can
if
get
you've got
locking
pins
pins.
that you're particularly attached to, we highly recommend buying locking pin backs.
Not from Penny Arcade. Sorry.
Well, no,
Buy it
I'll
on
say,
eBay.
no, the Penny Arcade ones are good as a short-term fix, like you need them right
you need
now
them
at
now,
PAX.
yeah.
But in terms of prepping for the future, you can buy in bulk on eBay for much better.
I believe that's
prices.
how someone lost one of the 300 DLCs.
That's,
They lost it at a PAX. It came off their lanyard.
yep,
And
lost on the show floor.
Somebody lost their Hannah last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, who was that person?
Yeah, I'm sure they got it back though. I'm sure a kind person found it. And
We found it on the floor outside Merch Light last year and tracked down Fish and got it back
they
to
got
her.
it back to me, and then I traded it to them for some other pins. The system works.
Circle of
I got a
life.
Hannah.
Yeah. Oh.
Locking back on the sun, that's what you need. Yeah. Sorry.
So some of the other options are you've got binders, which people use. So yeah, Coop's made up some really awesome binders. Ayefkay's got some really nice ones. He got Gabe and Tycho to illustrate the front of them at the signing last year, so they're really cool. You've got sort of people making banners or stealing banners.
Rude. We don't endorse that.
We don't endorse that. I think that guy was an enforcer or something. He got lucky. And then the last way is in shadow boxes and frames. And there's quite a scale on doing these. Like you can get really simple layouts, like the ones on the outside. And then at Christmas time, one of the purchase rewards, if you buy 2 or more sets, you get a poster, which you can see. And the height of shadowboxing is Kumadin's displays. This is all Kumadin.
These are awesome.
He does a great job.
And
Amazing.
his displays are kind of the envy of the community. He puts a lot of money and time into them, and they're pretty epic.
I need to update that.
So you've got pins, you've traded for them, you've gone home, you've got them in displays, but you kind of get lonely. How can you keep up with the community? George, do you want to tell us how we can do that?
I do. Number one place to start is just get right on the forums. I probably won't say too much about it, just get on there. And also on Pinny Pals, I put a link now that says discuss. Click that and it has all your options. Just jump right in. I've got a lot of slides to get through, so I'm going to rush through this one. Okay, so I run Pinny Pals. So I've got some trade data. So let's work through it. First of all, where do everyone come from? It's no surprise, everyone's from America and some of us are from Australia. So if you're not if you're not keen on international trading, you're going to have a hard time. Okay, next.
Bless you. Bless you.
Good?
Good.
Okay, this is how many people who are no longer active. You can tell because they have a European flag next to their username. That means they haven't updated their account since May 2004. This is our Hall of Fame. We've got Ayefkay here, first registered person.
Woo.
And then these are the people who you can best trade with, because look at them. And
So,
then we got,
so they're people that have completed trades successfully. Everybody's happy with them, basically.
Complete hack, that guy.
and then if you have Hall of Fame, you have Hall of Shame, but we don't have one.
So,
Yay.
trades that have been submitted on the website, that have been completed, nobody's failed to send pins, nobody's been a jerk.
That's with brand new users, old users, everyone. So just go for it, feel safe. All right, so the next question I get asked is, did they see my offer? And this is what it looks like. So we've had about 3,000 trades since we started. And as you can see, majority of them are rejected. And then you have 16% successful, 1% almost, which means something went wrong. They backed out peacefully. And 11% other. So there's an 11% chance that they did not see a trade. Just a small note on the rejection. Some users who don't like to use the negotiate button like to spam people with multiple offers at the same time, and so you have to reject 4 and accept 1. So it's a little inflated. Don't feel too bad about it.
Data's a little skewed.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a list of successful pins that appear in most in successful trades and most in rejected trades. As you can see, there's a lot of overlap. You don't have to worry about this slide too much, but what it lets us do on the next slide is give us a success rate of these pins. So, as you can see, people have a hard time creating successful trades. So why don't we take Hannah, which was one of the lowest, and see how she's been successfully traded for in the past. So there's a few things to note here. We've got a whole bunch of different types of trades. So Hannah's a pretty rare pin, by the way. She's like probably upper echelon, like top 20.
It's a pretty broad attraction.
Yeah. So she's been traded for in various ways. You can see like 1-for-1s or 2-for-2s or like 3 not so great pins. That trade's crazy, but you know, people do what they do. But the ones I want to highlight are actually the top one on the left, the PAX AUS by itself, the Carl by himself down the bottom, and then the one next to it, and the one, oh wow, just point, that one, and that one. So you can see there that those are the same pins, but here and here you have to start offering more. So the difference between those is those were early, so that's when those pins were hot. They're slowly falling, and now you got to do 2. But Hannah stayed the same, so she's worth more. So I guess the moral of the story is trade early, because things generally, most pins have generally declined in value, not gone up or stayed the same. All right.
Huntsell's so hot right
Or get this trade. Got a Hannah for a Pigglesworth. So I guess the real question is, how do you get a Pigglesworth?
now. Love Pigglesworth.
You get a Pigglesworth, you get anything,
sort of
right?
like a running joke that I keep running. So here's my favorite pin. But look, he does really, really well. Like, people are underestimating Pigglesworth. So anyway, Eugene's a great pin. Pigglesworth plus Pink Knight gets you a shield. Pigglesworth plus 2 crappy pins gets you an Oz shield. So my advice is get a Pigglesworth, and then you can really kickstart. You can really
Trade up.
collection.
I saw one yesterday.
Yeah. First you get the Pigglesworth, and then you get the
Yes.
pins.
First,
and you get the rest.
Pigglesworth.
And then you get the power.
Yes.
All right. So next up is trading fast. So the most common question is, how much should I trade for how much should I trade? Like how many pins on each side? So if we look at this is only from successful trades. So as you can see, the majority of trades end up equal. And then even in the difference pie, if we go to the next slide, you can see a breakdown of the difference. So you got like difference of 1, 54%, 2, et cetera, and then quickly do it. Excuse me. So the vast majority of trades are ending with a difference, no difference, or a difference of only 1 to 2 pins. So what do uneven trades look like that ended in success? So one of the most common ones that gets that number up is when you have 1 or 2 pins and you trade them for a set. So like the ones that all come on one cardboard backing. So they're 4 pins, but they're not really considered 4 pins. Like, I don't know, because it's just so easy. Like usually you just go buy them. Everyone knows you can just go buy them. So they're an easy way to sort of increase your fodder count, and then you can take that set and turn it into much better pins at like staff events and with enforcers and whatnot.
What do you mean by fodder?
Fodder is all your spares that you don't really care about and that don't particularly have a huge amount of value, like your lookouts. But as you can see, that starts to change. And basically, they're just your spare pins that you're willing to give up 1 for 1 for anything.
Yeah, spare pins you're not attached to, as opposed to spare pins that you kind of care a little bit about.
Yeah, used a lot for staff trades, since they'll take any pin you've got. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a great way to up trade. The next one is 1 pin for like 2 or 3 less value pins. That 1 pin needs to be sort of rare, but depends on the pins. But yeah, and then you got the 1 difference, which was like big majority is 2, 3, 3, 4, whatever, etc., etc. And then you have the absolutely crazy pins, where you have 1 very rare pin. Basically, nothing can help you there. It's like if you're happy with it, you're happy with it, and just don't look back and don't ever look at what that pin's doing in the future.
Yep.
But the most important thing is obviously do your research. You don't need to trade immediately. Take your time. If it feels wrong or feels uneasy, just wait.
People aren't going to get offended if you say no. They're just going to go, okay,
Yeah.
find someone else.
So as a quick freebie, these 4 from Australia 2013 are very rare. Actually, they shouldn't use very rare because they're not actually on the level of that 4th dot point. Okay, so how rare is basically you can expect anywhere from 2 to 4, 2 to 5 pins for 1 of them. So it depends on the pins.
Yeah.
But you really can use these to really start your collection, and quickly.
How many pickles worth?
It's 4 of those for 1 pickle's worth. If you come but anyone else, you probably get a couple of pickles worth for 1. Okay, so this is the most extreme trades we've ever had in the community. As you can see, they both involve the DLC, which, as we mentioned, is worth in the region of $1,000 to $1,500, depending on the
I think they're
time.
currently sitting around 800.
So they've
US.
dropped a bit.
There's a couple for a couple of 800, yeah.
As you can see, you need a crap load of pins to get one,
Try and
so
fight
don't worry
100
about
points.
it. Just pretend it doesn't exist.
That's what I do.
It's not worth it. That's it for me. If you have any more questions about the website or trading or anything related to value and trading data, I've got plenty more information that it could not fit in the time, so just find me anywhere.
George loves his data. The rest of us that just want to have a chat, how do we go about doing that, Coops?
Okay, so yeah, obviously great community. Joining and interacting with the community is half, or if not more, of what makes this hobby so great. So getting the chance to meet a whole bunch of new people with the same interests as you adds a lot to how much you will be collecting and trading. And who doesn't like making friends, especially if you're trading and stuff, and you know. So the forums, the best and quickest way is to join the community is through the Pinny Arcade sub-forum of the Pinny Arcade forums. Introduce yourself, post regularly, maybe tell a little story about how you got into it, and you'll be one of us in no time. So you'll also find news and updates of pin-related information, usually quicker than even the main sort of Pinny Arcade or Pinny Arcade pages. Pennypals.com, it's our primary online trading site. You can also, it's free to join, it's primarily used to organise trades and with other Penny Pals, keep your lanyard up to date, your current collection and spares and sort of what you need as well. And to browse other members' lanyards, you can search by pin if you like and so forth. The pin database on the site is often more up to date than the official Pinny Arcade site. You can also find the Penny Pals site, our community podcast archive, edited by panelist Ayefkay. It's a monthly podcast hosted by Pure Evil and regularly features guest speakers from the community. We talk about anything Penny or PAX related, from new announcements or lack thereof, to anything that happens at PAX that interests us. So we hope you get to hear the post-Oz episode or the pre-Oz episode too, if you like, and which should go up in a week or two. Now, if posting on the forum is not enough, and you want to carry us around everywhere you go, we also use regularly messenger apps, starting with a WhatsApp during PAX AUS 14. It's become the most popular way to communicate with our fellow members, and we're now nearing 100 people now that we're nearing over 100 plus people in that chat room, we've had to move to Slack, and there was a bit of a chat war that we had there, but Slack is still some WhatsApp, but we don't like to talk about it too much. So it's a very friendly, inclusive and helpful community, and where nobody shies away from helping other members out. And for example, earlier this year we helped Ayefkay and his family fund their new wheelchair accessible vehicle, and we've also helped to give support to the Child's Play charity.
That's a sweet ride.
It is indeed, and yeah, I've seen it.
Cool. So we've actually run a little bit. We caught up a bit, which is great. Best part there is we can watch Fish's video, and then we'll have some questions and some giveaways maybe.
If we like you.
I'm sure it'll work with that setup.
Okay, let's see what I got.
So this was from the
Don't fuss with the build-up.
They gave away a random grab bag of their merch, basically.
Agentcooper bag.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
Whoa, surprise merch.
It's like paranormal activity.
It was edited for time.
I thought this got,
You can catch the original
it's
version
got
on
down to a
YouTube,
minute.
I think.
Sure.
You said a minute, I'm at 12, I think it's a half, yeah.
Ooh, silica gel. Okay, so we got the Whoa Surprise merch envelope here. See what we got. It's some type of penny trading pin.
What could it be?
Quite popular.
Yes.
But I have to say the real selling point of this is been after one of those for a long time.
Respect to it.
So okay, that's everything I got.
Yeah.
We managed to fool a couple of the PA staff with that one. Apparently they're running around going, oh, have you seen this video? He doesn't know he's got DLC.
Yeah.
That's the one. Cool. So do we have some questions? We've got a hand up over here.
I do. I have a question. If you've just started, literally have just started, you don't have anything other than the ones that you can go buy, and we go down to the trading session later on, how do we entice somebody who has a plethora of coins and not coins, pins that they have that they want to trade with something that they can just go get anywhere at the moment, and it's like a dime a dozen basically, you buy them and bring them across. What will entice somebody to say trade off something that we in Australia will probably have a very, very hard time getting, unless we happen to be part of the already existing club or have travelled over to the other PAXs?
I think your first PAX is always kind of difficult. That's kind of where you get hooked. So my advice here would be check out the staff trade event, trade up, get the use the ones that you've just bought to get ones that you can't buy, and then work from there. Have any of you guys got any advice?
These are good value too.
Yeah.
These pens. Like,
Yeah, Oz trades well internationally
Yeah.
because we tend to have smaller runs as well than the American PAXs, so and it's harder for them to get our pins. So while we look at American pins and they go, oh, I want them, and they're really hard to get, like they do the same thing for us. One of the other things is if you find, in addition to the staff trading event, which is great, you should stock up on some pins for that one, because you can do 2 trades per staff member, so that's a total of how many staff members do we have? We don't have a full complement of staff, so it's
we're short 6.
Yeah, we're short a few.
Staff will trade up to like some are recommending 4 people, so they'll trade 8 a day with a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
We can
okay.
help. We can help with that. Here's one for you for asking for a question.
Yes.
Pass that back.
Yes.
Mystery.
You get one too for catching.
I'll just add
yeah.
one thing to
For
that.
my son, let me just say.
Don't
Good question, though.
Don't think that the current Oz ones are not worthworthwhile to current
Yeah.
collectors because
Because
I'm
we're
looking
trying
for
to
spares.
collect for international, like,
so you
yeah.
can use them to get
So you're more likely to want to take them to go overseas with them, so there is actually that
Or ship them.
or ship them.
or ship them, yeah.
yeah.
So you'll find like a lot of Oz people here who have been doing it for a while, they have trades set up. So they're trying to collect pins to send to people in the US.
Yeah.
Also, like hardcore traders that have an almost complete collection usually just enjoy trading for the fun of it. So they'll have a lot of pins that it's like they'll just happily trade with you.
Try your luck.
Yeah.
Penny pals. Just go and have a look. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Let's go. Yes. Roll for initiative.
Okay, I guess the question I've got, with us being in Australia, how does shipping and handling happen with trades overseas? Like,
Expensively.
I guess whose responsibility is it?
Everyone's
Happy.
responsible. I always, I mean, you sort of negotiate terms before a trade. I always request that we both get tracking. Like, yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's a peace of mind. That way you know it's shipped and you can watch where it's coming, like where the pin is and like how close it is to getting to you and like all of that kind of thing. And if things get lost or whatever, like it gives a peace of mind that you know the other person isn't going to be like, you just never like mailed it. It's like, well, no, I did. Here, it got lost. I'm sorry. And like it does give that extra security.
Yeah, 'cause
And that does rarely happen. I think it's happened once and it got sorted out anyway.
A small tip, if you want to save money and you can risk there's no tracking, you just get a little bubble mailer from Ozpost. If you're only putting 1 to 2 pins in there, it gets sent as an envelope. It costs like $3.
Nice.
We've got a whole thread about this on the forums
Yeah.
and packaging and mailing.
Exploding packages is also another thing. Like you can, if you're sending to multiple people in the US, you send one big package to one person and then they'll distribute from there if you organize that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pass it on, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Up the front here.
I just wanted to ask about the.
Yes, beat him. How dare you ask a question?
Just quick, pay him off with pins. Quick.
Ask about those double blind ones. You said there's ones that are also sets and then come with 2.
Yeah, so that's Armageddon. They look different.
It just released, so
they released a
follow
week
it
ago,
here.
and I
Have
didn't
they
think to
been
put any
released
pictures on the
Penny
site.
Arcade store.
Yeah,
Okay.
online,
So
the
it's
Penny
an
Arcade
official
store.
one.
Available.
Yep,
sold
yep.
out.
Yeah,
Plenty.
Armageddon
They
are
are
still
still
available,
available.
but once they're sold out, they're gone forever. They're not doing any more Armageddon pins
But there's a
once
lot.
the
Yeah, it
current.
looks like that.
Yeah, there's heaps of stock at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. In the Star Wars jersey.
You were saying before how like our pins to international traders are sort of seen as valuable. How long would you recommend waiting, say after this PAX, before we look at trading? Would you do it as soon as possible, or would you wait a month, 2 months, 6
I reckon
months?
George should get this one. What do you
Data
reckon?
suggests that you get in quick.
Yeah, do it now or do it in 10 years.
People flood the market, or?
Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, as soon as one person sees something on eBay sell for $60 that they paid $35 for, then the next hour there's 50 of them, and now they only fetch $35 again. So the quicker you are, the better. But in terms of trading, there's already preemptive trades up who want an Oz, just one of these core sets for one of these pins. You can go claim them right now, except it sucks on mobile, so you probably can't.
Right up the back.
White
I was wondering,
shirt.
given,
White shirt. Sorry.
given that most people open their pins and put them on their lanyards and whatever, is there much value in sealed packets of pins, or do people not really care about that kind of thing?
Some people like the packaging. Because the packaging's resealable, I don't think it matters to most. Anybody have experience?
Which packaging are we talking about?
Like the cellophane, the cardboard backing set as well.
Yeah, some people are really into the cardboard backings, and they like to have like that pristine set kind of thing, whereas other people aren't really fussed about it.
If you leave them in the back, you can't put them in
Just
cool
up the back next to the green shirt.
cases and displays. they're not a big deal, but you know, there's all types of collectors. So.
Sealed ones don't make a great deal of difference to most people.
As long as the pin's not like scratched up. And
Cool. Let's go over here.
I was just wondering, with Penny pins being an official merchandise of Penny Arcade, and obviously this group is purely community driven, is there actually any
microphone?
Oh, sorry. Is there any, I suppose, official channel between the community and an organiser or representative at Penny Arcade for the pins, or is it completely separate?
Yes and no.
There's not one person. There's like, I mean, people who are proactive, like, like basically Penny Arcade are happy to help. Like if you want to do something related to Penny Arcade, you don't need anyone's permission beforehand. Just do it. Just email them yourself directly and just start something going.
In terms of the community, in our Slack chat we have Eric Beaker, also from the warehouse merch mistress. She even pops little rocks in some of our packages.
Yeah. She's the one that didn't think I knew I had a DLC.
Yeah. So yeah, they are more part of our community than an official representation. I had a chat with Eric yesterday and he was like, well, I'm happy to be there as long as you guys don't pester the hell out of me. So yeah, they're there more for themselves rather than for Penny Arcade. Who else have we got? All right, let's go Kitty Pride over there.
I wanted to ask, you mentioned you can trade with stuff. Obviously, typo is quite identifying. How do you determine the other stuff?
They look like they're pins.
They're usually wearing about 10 lanyards full of their face.
Yep.
Also quite new and
We've.
As you sort of get into it, you'll just learn. Like I didn't know what any of them looked like my first PAX, and you just kind of someone goes, "Oh, there's staff members over there," and you go, "Where?"
Go to the staff trading event, and as well now they've got the PATV episodes. We've been playing a game at home. Okay, who's that?
A site?
So on the Penny Arcade site, they actually list all of the PAX AUS, for instance, all of the staff who are there and the ones that you can get at PAX AUS.
Okay. Yeah, the
So
pin
that's
quest.
pinnyarcade.com.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So just to keep the when you want to know what's available.
Cool. All right, let's go. Flannel over here.
Yeah.
That's a check.
But you are rocking that flannel. It's all good.
That is now your name.
As you said before about like the lookout set and how that's kind of become more rare because people have just gone, oh, we'll trade that off and we'll sell it. For example, I've actually got 2 Oz sets from last year and an Outlook set in my bag right now, and I was just wondering, like, is there any point of holding on to those complete sets to trade next year? Like, obviously, like, I go...
George?
I'd hold on to the lookouts. I don't know.
You need to if you don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's really...
That's up to you, yeah.
But I mean, like, I've already got my set from last year, my set this year, 1 extra from this year, 2 extra from last year.
Just look at it this way. Every single PAX has new collectors, and those collectors are always going to want all the pins. So if you don't want to waste them all now on getting what you need now, and maybe you want to save some for the future, save them for the future. What's actually happening with the Oz 2013 is exactly that. Everyone's hoarding them, no one wants to trade them. It's making them seem way rarer than they are.
Yeah.
Because the minimum print run for a set of pins?
So the PA, like the Penny Arcade specific pins, they can really do what they want. Like, so they get, their 300 run of DLCs or the 500 run of double secret blind boxes. But third party pins, their minimum is 1,000. And at this point, there's not that many people, like, it seems like maybe not a lot, but there's not that many people like actively hardcore collecting in the community. So it's more than enough for all of us to get them and then have a couple to spare.
The funny thing about the pins, actually, just talking about print runs, most pins have equal print runs.
Yeah.
So why do we have rarity disparity? And I don't think anyone can answer that. We're just all crazy. They're all exactly the same rarity.
Cool. Down the front here.
What's the best way to keep track of what you got?
pennypals.com.
Yep.
Yep. Pure
100%.
Also on the show floor, there's an app. There's an iPhone app.
Is there an official app?
No, there's nothing official. It's all community driven, but it's what's it called again?
Pennywise.
Pennywise. So that's great for keeping track of what you've got on the show floor, like in the moment. But yeah.
Pennywise uses Penny Pals data on the back end, so it'll always be up to date. So you can feel free to
yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, right up the back. Oh, actually, blue shirt. You've had your hand up for a while.
What did you get?
I'm trying to get around everybody. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry if this is kind of like a noobish question.
That's what we're here for.
No such thing.
But I've kind of like this concern that the common pins, say like the 2014 Halloween ones that you can just go and buy, that say in like a couple of years they'll be a lot more desirable. So like I feel kind of weird about just trading them off for something that may be a bit more worth it now. Has there ever been like a case of a common pin just becoming more valuable, or is it?
I think the current example is the Lookouts, is because it was a great deal. It was $35 for 6 pins, so it was the best value in terms of like pin to cost ratio.
If you're
and
buying
so
it
people,
to like trade with staff,
and so people were buying them to trade with staff, and because it was just they were just getting churned out, and then people traded away. They just didn't have any in their personal collection because they were like, oh, I'll just buy more later, and then the print run ran out, and they haven't printed anymore. And so now people are going like, I actually need those pins.
Yeah.
So
I'd just say be happy in that moment.
yeah,
And then no regrets.
Enjoy it in the moment.
Happy,
Like if you're crazy and you read like me. Sorry, I have a vault. Like so, I will buy an extra set of every pin and put it away. And my plan is in like 5 or 10 years to crack it open and make some newbie's day.
Just before anyone goes and buys like 20 Lookouts, they haven't gone up that much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're still pretty available in the
like nothing drastic.
It's just that people will trade you to fill their personal collection now, whereas before it was mainly you'd trade them to staff because staff take anything. Yeah.
All right. How about behind Flannel over here? Flannel.
I've got a bit of a double question. Thanks. My first question is for Fish. Did you just get the DLC in a box of merch, or did you actually trade for it?
What actually happened was PA for a New Year's tradition, they do it in Japan or something.
Yeah.
And basically,
Fukubukura.
Basically a box of random merch from their store. Like you'd order it in like sizes, like I want a T-shirt and a large, and you basically put some random pins in there. And 2 DLCs went out in these boxes randomly. And I thought I just wanted to record the video just in case I got it, so I could make that joke basically, that I pretend I didn't know what it was. And I did. Yeah. And after I turned the camera off, I was jumping around like
On the full version, there is a quite visible jump cut.
Sorry, the other part of that question is there anyone that does have a full set that they know, that do you guys know of anyone in the community that does?
Well, no one is currently 100% complete because we've got the Enfu set that doesn't get released till this month. You can
These
see
ones right here.
The Automata Kickstarter, those pins won't be made till next year.
But you already have yours.
Yes, those ones.
Yeah, but you don't physically have them. There is someone's got a complete set of Armageddon, don't they?
There is at least one full set of
There's
Armageddon
one full
now.
set of Armageddon now, so they might have a complete set if that was in a hardcore collector's hands.
It'll always be in flux, but for all intents and purposes, there's probably like 5 people or so.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm
we
like
can probably
20
get through a
short
couple
at the
more.
end of today.
Jean Grey over that side.
I just want to know, at the moment, with all of those extra ones that are coming out next year as well, how many are actually available in circulation for a hardcore collector to actually have in their collection?
Everything except
That's
the
a good
DLC.
question. Yeah. Basically.
How many pins? Is it like 100 pins?
Oh, well, the print runs like 1,000.
Like we said, the third.
That's 500.
Individual pins.
What do you,
go up to the top.
It's like 319.
318. 318.
Yeah, I'm
318.
I'm embarrassed by my 151 of 380.
What is mine? Mine's 290, I think.
I don't.
290 something.
Oh, we've ignored these lovely people up the back there.
Are we going? Is that?
No.
I reckon we can get one more.
I don't know if you pointed at him.
This way. Over there? Yeah, let's do that. No, perfect.
To see who he pointed to. There was this large, impermeable.
Thank you very much, Chris.
I was just wondering, because whether the Pinny Arcade pins translate to other pins that you want to collect as well, even if they're not Pinny ones. Because I have like a little Ravenclaw pin, and every time I am wearing it, people see it and they're like, oh, you have a Ravenclaw pin. I'm like, yeah, it's not official, it's just a thing that I like. So I was wondering whether, as collectors, you also collect other styles of pins because...
Yes.
You could talk to Ayefkay about his Blizzard collection.
Some people will trade within specific sets. Like some people will collect other pins, but like only trade the Blizzard with the Blizzard and the Penny Arcade with the Penny Arcade. Occasionally, you'll get someone who's just like, I just really want that pin, and I don't care if it's not Penny Arcade. I'll trade you for it. So, yeah, it just depends on the individual.
Yeah, I just traded some Mario Kart pins for a Penny Arcade pin.
Nice.
Just like I've never collected pins before the PA pins, and just the other day I bought like some 1993 Super Mario pins.
They were nice too.
I'm going down a dark path, I feel.
It's a bunny rabbit.
Right.
I've got it somewhere.
Right up the back?
I saw it. It's like a Child's Play one.
Yeah, I traded for the Child's Play one of my first packs. That's
the
nice.
bunny rabbit.
The PAX
Child's
bunny.
Play one. It's like a little rabbit.
on my bag.
Now that we're enlightened pin traders, let's check what's the etiquette. If you oversee a bad trade where someone's getting rolled, is ignorance bliss or should you intervene?
Ooh.
We're asking the tough questions here.
I always intervene.
Yeah, I
Don't crash tackle them, but maybe.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah,
Just
just
do
you
it,
just
do
sort
it on
of
the slide.
Make a
I just
better
go,
offer.
just sort of
I
be
just
like,
go,
oh,
oh, that's super rare, and then just walk away.
Because really, it's
Most
up to
people
the
are pretty
community
honest,
to
though.
keep everybody
Yeah.
honest. So, but that said, I haven't seen a lot of really bad trades.
Yeah.
What about upside down and purple foggy? How does Pat feel about that trade?
I wouldn't let it happen if I saw
He's
it.
making a joke.
Are we?
making a
Okay.
joke. Yeah. I witnessed it. I yelled at him. But then he had this whole giant story about why the trade was okay.
Okay.
And it was.
Yeah.
And then I met the other tradee, and we all made friends. And
Nice.
And now we follow each other on Twitter.
It was happy times at the end. Just here?
Counterfeits. Is there many around?
We have not encountered any of those yet, have we?
That we know of.
As with everything that's
Enforce the
collectible, has a
time.
money value, someone's always
We gotta
coming
close
with
it.
something.
It's crazy that there aren't any.
Once it gets bigger, it'll probably
Yep.
start to happen.
That hasn't happened yet, but I think that will be something Penny Arcade will handle.
All right.
Because I mean, obviously they want to protect.
Yeah, it's their IP.
They're
there.
very, very careful about protecting their stuff. Even pins that are misprinted have been destroyed.
They're super rare, by the way. Grab
A few community members snagged them.
Yeah.
Yes, there was.
We'd love to have more of a chat. We'll be down at the staff trading event very shortly.
Everybody should go.
But before we go,
right now.
Gonna be a whole day.
Before we go,
we do want to give a shout out to the Penny Arcade team and the third-party pin partners here at PAX AUS.
You can have one.
Tin Man Games, SMG Studio, Samurai Punk and Wizards of the Coast. And while they're not here, we'd also like to thank Undead Labs for how they've embraced our community.
Might only have the logo.
Lastly, thanks everybody for coming.
Okay, that's the one I think.
Hope you enjoyed the panel.
I think I gave.
Meet us downstairs. Trade on.
maybe.
All right. Cool. Great job.
We've got some queuing to do, so let's go.
Yeah?
Sharon.
Sure.
No, this is available from the site. Are they
available again or not? At this stage, it's not made like they are, which is really unfortunate. Parts of the community are talking about whether we can take it.
They made it in China and they had this like,
at this stage,
smell and yeah. You had to add like
it's not going to happen.
You want to grab a pin. Grab a pin.
Exactly.
Grab a pin. Grab a pin.
I'm in it. It'd be nice.
Well, Ayefkay's got one too.
I don't think it will happen, unfortunately.
I've actually slightly modified mine because I hate putting the backs on. I've actually put